today, well, I'm going to touch base on sealing the clutch box on a Polaris Razor. This is a 2014 Polaris Razor 1000 XP. Here is going to be your inside cover. I had to replace this, the belt. Okay, I'll show you guys. Here's the old belt. So, the last ride, the old belt started coming apart, and this thread right here is beyond strong. Okay, that's the inside of the belt right there. And what that did was that acted like a damn saw when it was rotating in here, and it just kept hacking and hacking and hacking, and it actually cut all the way through here where the snorkel tube goes, all the way up into here. And I attempted to fix that with some 5200 marine stuff. That's what all the white stuff is. That stuff didn't really work like I thought it was going to, or maybe the hole was worse, but I could not for the life of me get this thing sealed up when I smoke tested it. That's what all this mess of RTV and crap is, and that's why I got the bag on here with the clamp, because it kept leaking. Smoke was coming out here, and then it was coming out here, and I just didn't feel confident in it. The guys I ride with like to go too damn deep, and you gotta ride with them, you know what I mean? You gotta be prepared. So we're gonna touch base. So what you want to get is this. This stuff's going to be good for oil and engines and stuff like that. You can get that at O'Reilly's. You can probably get it at AutoZone, just about anywhere they sell parts. This is going to be where your crankshaft comes through. This is where your transmission is. Obviously, this is the inside. This is the back side. So this is the important part. This is where the crankshaft comes through on your engine. Usually there's kind of like a foam seal that goes here. This thing has been long gone. What I've been doing is just kind of caking it full of RTV. What you got to be very cautious of is that RTV can actually work its way into the seal on the crankshaft, and then all your damn oil leaks out. Now, you're supposed to split the engine to fix that, but there's a lot of companies out there that have a kit to fix that without pulling the engine. You just pull the cover off, fish the seal out, put a new one in there. TCP Off-Road, I believe, sells a kit for, I don't know, maybe around $100. Well worth it. And then I'll touch base on the transmission. So what you want to do is really just take your RTV and go around the edge here. If you got your seal in there like you're supposed to, it's just kind of a foam deal. What I like to do is go around my bolts, all around the bolts, and then I like to go around this where this foam seal is going to mesh right here. There's kind of a, you know, it leaves a gap. I want to put a little bit of it on here, and then I also put some on the engine around, you know, where that's going to sit. Try not to get too crazy with it, because like I said, you don't want it to get into the crankshaft seal, which this was actually all up on it. I just got lucky that it just didn't work its way in there and create a problem. Onto the transmission side, same thing. I just like to goop all up in here, all around here. There's actually a channel down in here. I like to goop it all down in there. The new belt box, this all came up nice and sealed. On the old one here, I had to seal this shit myself. That came with the Razor when I got it. You're also going to have some bolts up here that go through here. Probably want to put some sealant and stuff on there, so make sure, because these top pieces are separate pieces. They actually bolt on. You want to make sure that that stuff's all good and sealed up. Your bolts are covered up. Onto the inside, you want to, when you get your bolts in, or you might want to squirt a little RTV here and then run your bolts in. And then I like to cover my bolts up too, just like, you know, I got that bolt covered up. I got all these bolts covered up. And don't forget your little guy down here at the bottom. If you got RTV squirting out of here, you got a definite problem. You want to fix that before you let it ride. So transmission's got a seal as well, but you know, you ain't got to worry about that one as much. It's not quite as detrimental. You know, worst case scenario, you probably get a bunch of water in your transmission. Not the end of the world. Definitely something you don't want to happen, but it does happen. Okay, so next, outside cover. You're going to have a foam seal that goes in here. Here's what's left of my old one. I just got a new one because my buddy hooked it up when I got the new inside cover. So put your seal down in there. Now I've got an aftermarket transmission, the TCP case. That thing is freaking huge. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of clearance between the belt box and the transmission case right there. That's going to be in this area on the box. What I like to do, you guys probably won't have to worry about this because you're not going to have the TCP. You'll have a regular transmission. You'll have room. So what I like to do is with the RTV, you're just going to seal this edge right here. And whenever you get it all good and sandwiched together, it's just the edge. And so what I like to do is take the RTV, and I like to just squirt a little bit onto the end of my screwdriver. And then I just kind of, squirt it onto my screwdriver, and I just kind of rub it on there. Put a little bit more on there, and kind of rub it on there. Put a little bit more and rub it on it. And I work my way all around the belt box. Okay? And as you see, you don't have to get crazy with it. When everything is good and nice, like it's supposed to be. In fact, that looks like maybe I should put a little bit more right there. Or I can just, you know what? I can just maybe rub that with my finger in there. When I get the camera off, I'll probably put a little bit more on there. But you guys get the idea of it. And you can probably do that with your finger. I actually did most of that with my finger. I used a screwdriver down here. It's really close to my drive shaft. My drive shaft is actually rubbed on the cover before. And you're definitely, on your normal transmission, you're definitely going to want to use the screwdriver trick down here. So you guys don't have to get crazy with it. When that's sandwiched together, it's not a whole lot of a gap, okay? So you're just going through and you're just spilling that semen a little bit, all right? And when I'm done with that, I like to smoke test everything. I have got this smoke machine that I made right here. And I'm not going to show you my snorkel setup because that's some custom stuff I made. Yeah, so I'm not ready to release that to the public and start selling it to people when and if I ever do. But you can actually find this on YouTube. Literally went to Home Depot, bought all this plastic shit. There is a smoke shop literally less than a mile from my house. They sell the resistance wire. The resistance wire is the thing that actually gets red hot. And then there is a wick in there from like one of those candles you would see out, by a pool or whatever, the big ass candles. So, and then it runs on baby oil. Put some baby oil in there, put 12 volts to it, that sucker smokes. So there's a bunch of different smoke machines. You can look that stuff up on YouTube. You can make your own. You can buy them. The first one I actually made was a bicycle pump and a damn soldering iron. So, and that worked nice. It got the job done. I didn't like it because it took too long for the soldering iron to heat up and then start smoking, and of course I got to pump it. So now I got this that just hooks up to the air hose, and then I crank it down with the regulator too. You don't want a bunch of pressure. You're literally going for just a few. Like when you air this up, it's nice if you pull the plug and it just kind of goes, you know what I mean? And if you got a leak, it's gonna show. The leak that I had, I literally didn't even have to put any pressure on it. I mean, it literally wasn't really even pushing that bag out that I had clamped on there. So if you got a leak, you guys are gonna know it. It's easy to see, okay? If you guys are riding in deep water, you gotta do this stuff. You also gotta smoke test your engine intake, and you gotta dielectric grease everything. Could pull your spark plug caps out, dielectric grease those. Do every connection. I've done this, I've done the transmission, I've done all the sensors. Your little plugs like this, you want to be careful. If you get too much dielectric grease in there, you won't be able to get the damn thing back together. So you don't got to get crazy with it, okay? And there you have it. If you got any questions, holler at your boy.